Rogue, restore hive detected. Nearby rogue detonated gear detected. Rogue clear hive detected. System reactivated. Rogue hive detected. Contaminated gear detected. Agent eliminated.
Hey everyone, Rogue Guild here, and today we're back with another build video, this being my True Patriot setup for TU10.1. I've really been loving how this has been performing, and I know this was highly requested by you guys after I put out that gameplay video of me using it a few days ago, and so I'm glad you guys had interest in it, and I hope it delivers, because like I said, I've been enjoying it quite a lot. If you missed that video and you want to see some more gameplay than what was just in the opening bit here, I'll link it on screen now as well as in the description and all of that, so you can find it if you're interested, but I'm sure most of you have had your fill of gameplay by now and you're ready for the build. So let's get right into it. Alright, well, let's get right into it. Starting with the guns, my primary is the Eagle Bear. If you have the Eagle Bear, if you've done Dark Hours, then 100% I recommend you use this. It's pretty much the best AR. I mean, most reliable, I would say. Obviously, the talent is lackluster. I made a whole video on how I think they should buff it, actually. But the gun itself, the recoil, the damage, everything is just super reliable and just super competitive with, you know, a lot of different ranges and other types of guns. It's what I like the most, and I have one piece of Fenris on here to buff up ARs, so I, of course, want to use this. You could use an SMG as your primary if you wanted to, but I think the range combined with all the buffs from True Patriot is really what makes the setup here. So if you have the Eagle Bear, then I 100% recommend that. If you do not, you can of course use a regular high-end AR, something like the FAMAS, the Police M4, the Carbine 7, with, let's see what talents you could do, like Strained, Optimist, Preservation if you want survivability. There are some options. If you have the Eagle Bear, definitely use that. If not, do one of those things that I said. For your secondary, you can really use whatever you want. I just have an apartment here. I really don't think I've even pulled this out once while I've used this build. You can really run whatever. If you want some range, you could put on the classic M1A, even though they nerfed it a bit. Yeah, really anything you want there. For my pistol, I have the Orbit, like on most of my builds with Perfect Finisher. It's a really nice talent to have, and if you can remember to use it in combat, can be very worthwhile, so I recommend using that, but of course use whatever you like. Moving on to the gear. For the mask, I have the Coyote's Mask Exotic. I've definitely really liked how this is performed compared to using like another high-end, like, Seska or Sombra and then building crit. I really like what this allows because I'm taking on a lot longer ranges with the Eagle Bear. I think the Coyotes and the Eagle Bear pair really well together. And so, yeah, there's not much to say. I just really like how this has worked out, so I recommend you use the Coyotes to get that crit. If we go over to my stats quick on the Eagle, I'm running 44% crit chance base, but usually a target is going to be within that 15-meter range so that my crit chance will be up to 54-55%. And then of course the crit damage is at 103, pretty solid considering I have 4 pieces of gear sets so that the number of attribute rolls is lessened, but that's pretty decent crit overall, and the Coyotes just helps with that even more. Moving on to the chest piece, I have my 1 piece of Fenris for the 10% AR damage, weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and then Unbreakable. You can run, if you want to do something like Obliterate, you could for some more damage. I like the extra survivability. I'm running 2 blues on this build for that extra armor, and so the Unbreakable on here is pretty nice, and so that's what I would recommend, but of course try out whatever you like. For the holster, we have a True Patriot holster with maxed out armor and crit chance. Obviously, that crit chance could be a little bit higher. And then armor. I do have 2 armor rolls on this build. I really liked how 2 blue rolls feels overall. I've been trying it out on a lot of different builds lately. And so I do have 2 blue rolls and then 4 reds. And I like how that is. So that's what I recommend. You could go 1 blue. I wouldn't necessarily recommend going 6 reds. I think that's a little bit much for the True Patriot because you're getting that damage reduction. But it's really up to you. I like the 2 blues, and so that's what I would recommend you try out. I'm using the True Patriot backpack with weapon damage. I have explosive resistance there. That is not what I would like. Obviously, I'd like crit, but I could not get one, and you can't craft these, so it's a little bit harder. Yeah, definitely run crit damage or crit chance there if you have the option to. And then I just have an armor on kill mod because it comes with a blue. In TU11, that will be a generic mod slot because they're changing all mod slots to not be color specific anymore. So I will be able to get even more crit there, and if I get a different backpack, that will just boost up my overall crit by a lot. And then I am using the backpack to get the amplification talent of Patriotic Boost, which increases the strength of the red, white, and blue buffs to 12, 3, and 12 for red, white, and blue. So that's pretty nice. I like using this one over the chest piece for sure. I think the chest piece is probably nicer in PvE because the time to kill is so much quicker. But in PvP, if you're going to beam someone, you're going to beam them regardless, right? But if you're having a prolonged fight, you're going to want these extra bit of strengths on the buffs, and that half a second reduction in rotation time for the chest piece just isn't really worth it in my mind. So definitely go for the backpack over the chest piece if you're going to do one or the other. For the gloves, again, True Patriot, armor and crit damage, and then knee pads, weapon damage, and crit damage. For my skills, I'm running a Defender Drone and a Decoy. Pretty standard for non-skill tier spec skills. You could do a Crusader Shield for one or the other of these for sure. I don't really like using Crusader Shields or shields in general. I think I don't want to say cheesy. It's overused, and so I like using other things. I really like the Defender overall. I just think it's a really unique skill, and it's really nice to have on a lower skill tier build for that 10% damage reduction. So that's what I have there. I do have a damage reduction mod, which is taking up to 10.5%. Not like you're going to really notice it, but nice overall. And then of course the Decoy is kind of a staple ever since Warlords came out and this released. It's just really nice to be able to hide your nameplate and get some good plays in. So those are my 2 skills. And then finally, for the specialization, I have the Gunner, which I 100% recommend. This is definitely my favorite one. Obviously, Firewall is kind of the favorite of the community for PvP just because that armor breaking thing. If you haven't seen recently, Bruce said on Twitter that they might be disabling that talent for PvP, so that might be a reason to start looking at some other specs, and Gunner has always been one of my favorites. It has a really good medkit. It's got, when you stand still, you get 10% weapon handling, which now in TU10, after they buffed it, means a lot more than it did before. You get armor on kill, you get increased rate of fire on kill. There's just a lot of good bonuses for a run and gun playstyle, a really mobile playstyle that often takes place in PvP. So I've always really liked Gunner, and the medkit is nice with the bonus armor. You can tank a little bit more, so I just like using it. This is what I would recommend. You could go for Firewall as well, but do be warned that that could be nerfed in the near future. So take that into consideration when you're choosing which one you want to run. And that about does it, guys, for my True Patriot AR build in TU10.1. I hope you all enjoyed. It shouldn't be too hard for you guys to set this up, so hopefully you can hop into the DZ and see for yourself how it performs. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the build in the comments below, and yeah, go try it out and have some fun. Thanks everyone. I hope you guys all have a great day, and until the next one, guys, Rogue Gold out.